So to start with, let's find a waveform. So let's click on this area right here. Let's go to digital wavetables and let's add one of the presets from bells. Let's try clean bells and let's see how that goes. That sounds alright. Let me see if I can find something else. I do like that one though. Oh, I like this one. So let's start with the shape. See, there's a few different tones in there that I like, so I'm going to try modulating it and see what I can come up with. So let's modulate with LFO. I like that. So I'm going to decrease the depth by turning this down right here. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to modulate it again with another LFO. So with the second LFO, I want it to modulate even faster so it can catch some of those higher tones and some of those lower tones as soon as we press the note. So to speed up the second LFO, we increase the rate right here. Now let's turn the depth down. Can you hear that? It's really subtle, but you can hear that movement. I'm going to turn the depth down some more as I do want it to be just slightly a bit more subtle. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Now let's try playing around with the symmetry and let's see what we can come up with. Okay, I'm going to modulate that. So let's turn up the rate. And you can hear it's slightly detuned it a bit. Straight away from the get-go, like this already sounds really good. This is why I like OMNISPHERE. I think it's really underrated because the things you can do with it and the amount of sounds that it's got, the capabilities, to me it's endless, and I find that there's a certain quality that comes from OMNISPHERE. So for me personally, when it comes to sound design, I will always use OMNISPHERE. Now let's try playing around with the hard sync. I'm not too keen on the hard sync, so I'm just going to just leave that where it is, and I'll try ring modulation instead. Let's select ring modulation. Let's turn it on. Now let's see what that sounds like. I like that. It's give it a bit of distortion and it's changed the tone slightly, but not too much. Now let's try ring sync. Let's try turning the depth down. I like that. That's not too bad. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Now let's try the granular and see what we can find. Let's turn up the intensity. Ooh. Let's turn up the pitch grains. I like that. Let's try turning up the detuning. Too much. I'm going to play around with the grain depth and let's see what happens. I like what we've got so far. Now I'm going to layer it with a sample. So let's go into oscillator B and then I'm going to select sample I'm going to click on the empty space here. Now I'm going to come over to this section right here, the timbre section, and then I'm going to choose this section right here, lucky, and see what we can find. I'm going to choose this one, this preset right here, Sadar. Now let's see what that sounds like with oscillator A. So let's turn oscillator A on. I'm actually liking it. It's got potential. Oscillator B just needs to be tweaked a bit. The first thing I'm going to do with oscillator B is I'm going to pitch it up. So I'm going to do that by coming over here. So I'll go to +12, and then I'm also going to add some EQ. So I'll go over to effects, select the B effects so it corresponds with the B oscillator. Click on this icon here, go to EQ. I'll go to parametric 3-band EQ, and I want to take off some of those lows. So I'm going to take off everything below 315 Hz. I can do that by taking it down here on the gain knob. So I've taken off everything below 315 Hz. Now let's have a listen. That's better. I'm going to go back to the beat oscillator, and I want to add some unison to it, or even some granular. So I'm going to try both, and let's see what we can find. So let's click on the unison, let's turn it on. Now let's have a listen. I'm going to try the granular, see how we get on with that one. I'm going to turn down the grain depth, and I'm also going to play around with some of these parameters and see how the way the sound comes out. Let's turn up the intensity. I'm happy with that now. What I want to do now is I do want to add another layer. So I'm going to select oscillator C, come out of the oscillator zoom page, and this time I'm going to add another synth. So let's click on this area right here, and let's find a wavetable. I'm going to go back to Bell, and this time I'm going to try clean bells as I did like that one before. So I'm going to turn off oscillator B and A and have a listen to oscillator C by itself. Pitch is too low, so I'm going to change the pitch, and I'm going to try it on +12. I'm going to add some unison. I like that. I'm going to go up another octave, so I'll go up to +24. That sounds better. I'm happy with that. And I'm going to add some effects to that, so let's go into the effects option, click the C effects. Let's add some analog chorus. I'm going to add another effect. Let's try this one, creative inner space. That sounds nice. Just needs turning down. Let's turn down C. Now let's play around with the shape. I like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn oscillator A and B back on, and I want to hear how everything sounds now. With oscillator C, let's go back down an octave. That sounds better. I just felt with the higher octave, the +24, some of those higher tones were just a bit overpowering, and going back down to 1 octave has made it all sound cohesive, and it all sounds like it blends together and comes from the same space. And there you go. And this is the final bell sound. I'm really happy with how the way this one's turned out. And once again, it doesn't have to end there. I could add more effects to it. So just for experimentation, let's just add some EFX fragments. I'm going to change the preset and let's see what I can find. I like these cascade circles. Let's turn off the delay. Let's turn down the grain mix. Turn it down a bit more. And that sounds really good. I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with how the way this Belloneshot has turned out. You can see I followed a certain philosophy, and this is how the way I approach sound design. I build a solid foundation, then once I got that solid foundation, I introduce modulation because it creates this algorithm of movement. It makes the sounds more interesting. And once I'm happy with that, then I start to add different layers through adding samples or synths. Once I've added those samples or synths, then I start to add effects. I'm doing all this to taste. If you have any questions and if you want to know more, just please leave some comments below and I'll get back to you. But I really hope that you've all learned something from this tutorial. And until next time, peace out.